$5 Games presents Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. The plot is, well, game-wise, it's this guy trying to climb to the very top of randomly piled objects, some of which are suspended in midair. There is a narrator who's voicing his opinions on the gaming industry as a whole in 2017, and specifically about B games in general, drawing many parallels between B games and climbing this trash pile. The narrator will also stop occasionally to talk about your progress in the game, or rather your lack thereof, in a polite tone, pointing out that through perseverance and experience, you too can get further in the game. Gameplay wise, it is fully controlled through mouse movement. There's no clicking, no button presses outside of the main menu and pause screen. It's all swiveling your wrist around. What you're moving is the end of this hammer here, and how it moves is in relationship to where it is positioned from the perspective of the protagonist. So if you move the end of the hammer towards the protagonist, he pulls it towards himself. Likewise, if you move it away from him, he extends it. So one of the difficulties is that if you move the mouse tangent to him, the hammer will quickly be positioned in a way that it is no longer tangent. So he will either extend or retract the hammer. This is abnormal because normally in a game, when you move something in one direction, you're only doing one thing. And in this case, it quickly transitions into doing something else. So when you launch yourself or have any sudden movements, you have to check where the hammer is in proportion to the protagonist. Otherwise, you might just make matters worse. Another cool concept in this game is that it has a dynamic failure system. In most games, the failure system is static. If you die, you have to start back at a specified retry spot, which could be the last save point, the start of battle, or in the case of rogue games, the very beginning of the game. However, in this game, when you fail, how far back you go depends on both where you messed up and how badly you messed up. It could be just a couple of cliffs away, or you could fall all the way back to the beginning, and that is fairly consistent throughout the entire game. You're always perpetually hanging by a ledge that could drop you anywhere. And in a way, that is understandably frustrating. It's kind of like getting lost in a maze or a game and finding yourself back at the exact same spot for the 10th time. Still, I feel like there's potential in other games like RPGs or first-person shooters that have this kind of failure mechanic, and for it to be extremely interesting, despite it also being very frustrating. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Consider picking up the game if you want to do a fun challenge with aggravating controls.